Top 10 freakish natural phenomena in everyday foods. When puzzling over extraordinary foods, most minds would create pictures of obscure preparation, and elaborate dishes with unpronounceable names. However, exceptional secrets lie hidden in foods we tend to worry a day to day, with fascinating scientific explanations behind them. From buggy to fruits, to vegetables, here Area Unit 10 Freakish Natural Phenomena in Everyday Foods. 10. Brazil buggy. Anyone WHO has ever had a instrumentation of buggy has unwittingly witnessed an odd result that no individual has been ready to totally make a case for. In nearly each package of buggy, the Brazil buggy can seem at the highest, with the smaller buggy at the lowest. An equivalent applies to cereal, with all the most important cereal at the highest of the box and zip, however unclean, shreds all the manner at the lowest. However, why? General knowledge tells the US that larger buggy would sink to the lowest, with smaller buggy rising to the highest. Well, no one quite is aware of it. Dubbed the Brazil nut effect, however additional professionally called granular convection, this phenomenon has stumped consultants for years. The conception refers to once numerous items of little, similar mass objects rotate in an exceedingly manner almost like however fluids move. 2. The method a package of buggy goes through to induce from the manufactory to the hands of a client needs millions of jostle. When the buggy area unit all pushed upward, the smaller ones can fall below the larger ones, pushing them upward. This can repeat in an exceedingly cycle as a result of the buggy area unit incessantly jolted around. However, the Brazil nut result provides a small wrinkle to the current logic. See, the Brazil buggy can reach the highest of the instrumentation and simply keep there, so ending the cycle. Scientists aren't certain why they aren't ready to move from their position on prime. Of course, several theories are given. Maybe the buggy area unit too massive to suit into any smaller areas within the instrumentation at the moment shake, or maybe the density of the buggy play a task in pushing it towards the surface. Either way, the science has applications on the far side this nutty quandary, get it? Dr. Douglas J. Gerolmack and his team have even found a link between this development and also the reason why rivers will resist erosion, as a result of streams to have larger rocks close to the highest with sand and gravel any down within the river. 9. Cranberries. Nobody would suppose to check a standard cranberry with a well-liked children's toy, however, there's a shocking similarity between the two. Although usually parched and softened so as to cut back the natural tartness of the fruit, a raw cranberry features a totally different texture. When ripe, it'll be ready to bounce within the same fashion as a bouncy ball. This can be because of the tiny air pockets inside every cranberry, still because of the firm texture that enables it to bounce up off the bottom. In fact, cranberry farmers even use this as a mature check for his or her berries. It's common for berry farmers to bounce every cranberry over a picket barrier, wherever the berries that clear the barrier can get in circulation, whereas those that don't get in separate bins to become juice. Curiously, this was discovered by chance. Once associate degree recent farmer from New Jersey called John Peg Leg Webb poured his offer of cranberries down the steps. Because of his peg leg, this was his best methodology of transporting them. However, he noticed that the additional firm cranberries would bounce to the lowest, whereas the softer and additional battered berries would sit limply at the highest of the steps. This discovery transpired in 1880, and farmers are exploitation bounds to check cranberry matureness ever since. 8. Corn. Corn has been around for thousands of years, however, few understand that each ear of corn features a distinctive similarity regarding it. See, corn can continually have a fair range of rows. This can be because of the very fact that a corn ear isn't simply a vegetable, however associate degree inflorescence, that means that it produces nearly 1,000 feminine flowers. These flowers, otherwise called the longer-term kernels, are going to be ordered into rows, forming the common image of associate degree ear of corn. A median ear of corn has 800 kernels, organized into 16 rows. The even range comes from the very fact that every spike basic grass flower can manufacture 2 florets, that area unit the tiny flowers that compose a full inflorescence. It'll manufacture 2 as a result of 1 flower should be fertile whereas the opposite should be sterile. Curiously, this is applicable to foods apart from corn. Watermelon, as an example, purportedly features a systematically even range of stripes. Notwithstanding the case, this stems, no pun intended, from the very fact that a cell can continually divide into two cells that successively every divide into two additional cells. As this cycle continues, the quantity can continually keep even. How odd. 7. Pistachios. Pistachios could appear innocent enough, however very little did we all know that they need a sinister facet. That's as a result of pistachios, once keep in massive quantities, area unit at high risk of impromptu combusting. It's a notable proven fact that fat burns terribly simply, and every pistachio is sort of 500th fat. Moreover, pistachios have virtually no water in them, and if they're unbroken in an exceedingly high moisture space, then they become musty. With their total absence of water and a high concentration of fat, the pistachio's area unit in danger of turning into combustible. This risk turns into reality once pistachio's area unit packed close in massive amounts, because the oils of the buggy will heat themselves up, inflicting them to burst into flames. As a result of they will self-heat, this pistachio-fueled nightmare will occur with no warning, with no human contact. This has led to several strict tips on however pistachio's area unit shipped, as most of the planet pistachio production comes from the Center East. This implies that ship's area unit needed for transport, and no one desires to ascertain a ship burned down from improperly prepackaged buggy. 6. Nutmeg. Nutmeg may be a spice most typically used around the holidays, as a sweet garnish to drinks or associate degree ingredient in desserts. However, rather like the pistachio, there's a dark secret behind this joyous spice. This can be as a result of nutmeg as absolutely a consciousness-altering drug, capable of inflicting powerful highs and ugly facet effects. Explosive bursts of panic, hassle urinating, and perpetually xerostomia area unit simply a couple of consequences of the psychotropic trip. Nutmeg itself is really a seed, and it contains a compound called myristicin. Myristicin is employed in several medicine that area unit want to have an effect on the condition, and it's the explanation why nutmeg produces psychotropic effects. Though this might shock all people, it wouldn't have shocked anyone in 12th century Europe. Back then, it had been thought about a drug instead of a garnish, and folks would use it oftentimes so as to induce hallucinations. It's even believed that far-famed medical man astrologer eaten nutmeg so as to realize visions that led to his scientific discoveries. Nutmeg remained a well-liked drug for years to return, however somewhere on the manner it's standing shifted into the innocent spice we all know it as these days. 5. Mushrooms. There is usually a fine line between a food being undercooked, overcooked, or parched to the letter. Luckily, for those people WHO can't simply navigate this line, there's one riskless ingredient that we will use, the mushroom. You see, it's about to not possible to cook a mushroom as a result of their cell walls have a unique molecular structure than that of meat or vegetables. Whereas the cell walls in meat and vegetables contain supramolecule and cellulose severally, the mushroom contains a chemical compound known as polyose. Polyose is extraordinarily heated stable, which suggests that once it's parched, the warmth has very little result on the molecular structure of the mushroom. This can be totally different than meats and alternative veggies, as a result of heat causes proteins within the meat to tense up, causing overcooked meat to be chewy, and it causes pectins in vegetable cells to interrupt down, leading to a mushy clump of inexperienced. In a shot to scientifically prove this development, Dan Souza, the chief editor of America's Check Room, placed mushrooms to the check once and for all. Souza took a mushroom, a bit of zucchini, and a hunk of tenderloin, and steamed all of them for 40 minutes. Every 5 minutes he placed every item through a texture analysis that calculated the number of force that will be needed to bite into the same item. Not terribly amazingly, the mushroom outperformed its competitors by remaining at intervals 100 grams of force to bite into throughout the entire testing amount. As compared, the tenderloin shot up 500 grams of force, and also the zucchini went down virtually 200. In alternative words, the mushroom remained texturally consistent whereas the tenderloin became robust, and also the zucchini became limp and chewy. 4. Chili peppers. With 1/4 of the world's population consumption chili peppers on a day-to-day, it's clear that a lot of folks fancy the jolt of spiciness that has become the trademark of those peppers. Whereas folks around the world have chosen to embrace the chili pepper and feel the burn, few folks have stopped to surprise the explanation for this sensation within the first place. All chili peppers contain a full-of-life ingredient known as a chemical irritant that activates the heat-sensing supramolecule in our brains once bitten into. Once the supramolecule senses heat, it causes the brain to send a trial of burning pain to the pepper eater. This implies that pepper's area unit tricking our brains into feeling a burning sensation, since we are going to not really be burned from consumption of pepper. Scientists have determined that pepper plants really evolved this fashion so as to stay predators from consumption their fruit. Curiously, birds don't feel any burn once consumption peppers, and peppers really evolved this fashion advisedly. This can be as a result of, in contrast to mammals, birds eat pepper seeds whole, therefore once they release these seeds, they unfold the pepper plant and guarantee its survival. 3. Rhubarb. The rhubarb may be a perennial plant that's almost like celery, however, it's usually classified as a fruit because of its bitter and fruity style. Stuck in between these two classes, the rhubarb appears to be somewhat unnoticed in society, with the additional ancient apple or broccoli thrust into the limelight. However, there's a singular development that happens with the standard rhubarb, and it's to try to do with the manner that it's full-grown. You see, since the 1800s, rhubarb farmers have harvested these veggies, fruits in an exceedingly methodology known as forced rhubarb. During this methodology, rhubarb's area unit full-grown within the dark, that causes them to mature at associate degree alarmingly fast rate. Once rhubarbs grow this quick, it causes them to form a loud pop noise as they burst out of their initial buds and start to grow upward. As they still rise, they start to rub against alternative rhubarb stalks, that creates a noteworthy high-pitched and creaking noise. Rhubarb farmer Brian French says regarding the noise, "I have detected the noise before. Growing against one another. You actually need to listen for it." The explanation behind this musical methodology of rhubarb growing is that the dark area makes rhubarb plants unable to photosynthesize, which ends up in an exceedingly less stringy and additional tender rhubarb. 2. Cashews. Of all the buggy on this list, cashews have maybe the strangest attribute of all. Once asked what grows on a cashew, most would in all probability assume that it might be, well, cashews. Although that's correct, the nut is really not the first fruit of a cashew. Native to the coastal areas of northern Brazil, cashew trees really grow apples. The particular buggy sprout from the lowest of every apple. Most people have possible ne'er detected of a cashew apple, or seen them being sold anyplace. This can be as a result of, although they're utterly safe, the skin of cashew apples builds them tough to move. Cashew apples don't head to waste though, the pulp is usually utilized in juices and alternative apple-related foods. Even additional shocking is that the proven fact that the cashew nut is technically not a nut in any respect, but a seed. The cashew seed is roofed by several extremely cyanogenic layers so as to scare animals away. Don't panic, though, as a result of solely the shell is cyanogenic. Any pack of cashews bought from a store won't have the shell, so creating them utterly safe for consumption. 1. Carrots. Carrots became virtually similar to the color orange, however, carrots didn't continually have this distinctive hue. Originally, carrots were really purple, however, a factor unfolded among these plants led to the creation of the yellow carrot. The transition from the harvest of purple and yellow carrots to orange carrots may be a freakish and fascinating tale. The origin of orange carrots began within the city of Arausio in southern France. The classical pronunciation of this city was Arenja, and with the French word for orange being Naranjo, the voters of Arausio eventually modified the town's name to Orange. A person named William the Silent gained rule over Orange in 1544 and was from then on called William the Orange. Once gaining the rule of Arausio, William the Orange went on to guide the Dutch to their independence from España, so making the Dutch Republic. At an equivalent time as this revolution, another revolution was going down. A carrot revolution. Round the time of the Dutch independence, a carrot breed was created by Dutch carrot farmers that contained a plant pigment known as carotene. This pigment caused associate degree orange color the carrot, and also the Danish folks began mass manufacturing it in honor of their hero William the Orange. It has to be compelled to the purpose wherever the opposite colors of carrots became now not convenient to grow, that led us to the orange carrot that we all know and love. If you liked this video, please click on like, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel to receive all new videos. Thanks for watching.